Right, good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well done to all the early birds for making it in. How many of you were here yesterday? Some of you, quite a lot of you here yesterday. Wasn't that a good day yesterday? Wasn't that a tremendous day? Absolutely packed. And it's egregious to pick out highlights, as they say, but I thought what really struck me was the determination and the resolve on the part of everyone, really, business, government, and civil society, that we can crack the climate crisis. We can do this. And how do we do it? Well, one of the main weapons in the armory is collaboration. We do it by working together. And we're going to kick off the day by highlighting one of the most potent such collaborations in the field at the moment between India on the one hand and ourselves in Europe on the other. And I'm only stressing the ourselves because I'm enjoying saying it while I can, which as a UK citizen is for about another 6 weeks. So to start off, we have a series of keynote speakers to bring this to life, followed by a major ceremony. And our speakers today are Dr Ajay Mathur, Director General of TERI, Mr. Raimund, Magis, Chargé d'Affaires of the Delegation of the European Union to India, Mr. Wolfram Klein, who's head of the South Asia Division of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, Mr. Akhil Kumar, Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Mr. Rajiv Mishra, Director General of the National Mission for Clean Ganga, and joining us shortly will be the Honourable Union Minister of State, Water Resources and River Development, Mr. Arjun Meghwal. And now, if I may, I'd like to call on Dr. Mathur to say a few words.
Thank you, Michael. As we begin this third day of the World Sustainable Development Summit 2019, we both look back at 2 very successful days and the extremely packed and busy day today when we talk of a variety of issues. We do have also the need to be flexible. The Honorable Minister for Water Resources, Mr. Arjun Meghwal, who is also the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, is held up as today is the last day of Parliament, and there are many other things that he's been asked to do specifically now. We hope that he'll join us in a few minutes. It is indeed a pleasure that the India-EU Water Forum is taking part of this World Sustainable Development Summit. This is not only because the Indo-Europe Water Forum is a meaningful meeting in the Indian water sector, but also for historical reasons. It was here at the World Sustainable Development Summit in 2016 that the MOU between India and the EU on the water partnership was signed. And we were privileged that the Commissioner and the Minister for Water for Ganga Rejuvenation at that time, Ms. Uma Bharti, signed that agreement. The cooperation aims to enhance the relationships, the collaborations, the range of activities between India and the EU, and many of these will be presented today during this session. We are also delighted that there are several expressions of interests and MOUs as part of the India-EU Water Partnership, which would be exchanged today. And in this inaugural session, we therefore highlight the strengthening of the partnership. I often stress that the importance of meetings like this is obviously to share experience, but also to strengthen partnerships. The Water Forum will continue through the day, and there will be a technical session on river basin management, presenting the India-EU Water Partnership activities in all the priority areas, as well as a business session which explores opportunities for the EU businesses in the India water sector. Again, it's absolutely wonderful to host this partnership, which has turned into a key annual event, and I look forward to water, which is such an essential part of sustainable development being highlighted here, and more importantly, the development of actions which move us towards a sustainable water future. Again, welcome to all of you, and welcome to colleagues on the dais.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mathur. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Raimund Magis to say a few words.
Thank you. Wonderful good morning to all of you. I understand that the Honorable Minister of State, Shri Arjun Meghwal, gives us also the honor to join us here in a few moments. Director General Rajiv Mishra, Director General Ajay Mathur, dear friends, and of course, dear Excellencies, I'm really, really happy to be able to inaugurate this session. It's a great, great pleasure for me. As you're all aware, water is a very, very important part of our EU-India collaboration. In fact, at the last two summits, our political leaders actually concluded that water is one of the key priorities where we should be working together, because we have tremendous experiences to share, technologies to share, and just it would be really like a tremendous value added to have this collaboration. In addition to that, last November, for the first time ever, we published it's kind of like holistic strategy for our cooperation with India, for the EU cooperation with India. It's the first time ever that we have developed a long-term vision, what we are actually going to do with India, and water is going to play a very crucial role in that vision. In that sense, what we're doing today, the water partnership is actually part of the implementation of that vision. And I'm very, very proud about that, because strategy is only worth actually the action that you put on the ground, the advancement that you have in concrete value added for the peoples of India, and of course, like also for the European Union. I'm particularly happy that the forum this year, for the first time ever, happens inside the World Sustainable Development Summit. I think this is most fitting. Water is a crucial part of attaining the Sustainable Development Goals. That's why I really believe that this is a venue to go forward. As my previous speaker already mentioned, in 2016, we formalized the India-EU Water Partnership. And I think this water partnership actually has seen some very important parts of implementation already. First of all, it is a multi-stakeholder process. It has always been, and looking around in this audience, seeing so many partners in that partnership also being present here, I can sense the strength actually that this partnership is really having and being carried forward. I would like to mention a few of the achievements that we have made so far. One is, of course, that integrated water management or river basin management is the way forward. It is about integrating a number of different visions or different concepts: urban wastewater management, freshwater resource management, source management. Like it's a very vast spectrum of elements that come together. But it is also about actually managing water resources across boundaries, sometimes across state boundaries, sometimes also across national boundaries. I come from a country which is, through which the Danube flows, the second longest river of the European Union. And actually it is the river which flows through most countries. Anywhere in the world, you will find no other river which has flows through 10 nations, which is, of course, a tremendous challenge in managing that water resource. However, it is working through a long-standing cooperation, and I think this can be really a very, very interesting case study also here to learn from here in India. We have done some very interesting projects together in the field of with the Tapti River, and I believe that is a very interesting model project which can also be duplicated or replicated co-located with other river basins here in India. I had the pleasure of speaking briefly to the Director General, who's also in charge of the Ganga Rejuvenation, and I think a lot of inspiration might come from that particular project. The water partnership is a fantastic platform also to showcase business opportunities, to showcase, how actually policy level can work together with businesses. And tomorrow we will kick off 7 joint research projects with more than 50 institutions involved, with a total value of about 30 million euros. I understand a number of these institutions are actually present here today and present in this auditorium, and I want to extend a very, very warm welcome to all of you. At the end of this inaugural session, we will have a ceremony of exchanging expressions of intent to cooperate with several partners from both India and the European Union. And this is something which I would really like to stress. Working with the European Union is a very special enterprise because European Union, yes, we are a union, but there are also a number of very strong member states in it with a unique added values, with a unique niche, and I believe this tremendous wealth of expertise that we have to offer, reinforcing strengths, is something that you will find nowhere else in the world. And that's why it is so interesting for India to work with the European Union and its member states. And I believe that our businesses can make a tremendous contribution to make this partnership even more meaningful. With this, let me express my best hopes for the Water Forum today and for the future implementation of the India-EU Watership. And I would really like to thank you very much for your engagement and also for your attention today. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Mr. Magis. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Wolfram Klein to say a few words.
Thank you and good morning. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here, and a special pleasure for me to meet an old friend like Director General Mishra, whom I had the honor and the pleasure to receive in Germany some years ago, and also with Mr. Mathur, who is an all-rounder in all environmental issues, and I'm sure much more than that, but especially environmental issues. And I remember well the talks we had about renewable energy a while ago. And it's a pleasure to meet you again, Mr. Mathur, here on another issue which is as important as water. And for me, it's hard to imagine issues that are more important than water for India. Germany has been working on the cleaning of its rivers for more than 30 years. We have achieved many successes. Germany's major rivers, Rhine, Elbe, Danube, are today living rivers with clean water. However, the cleaning of rivers is a never-ending process. New pollutants, growing population, and climate change present us again and again with new challenges. One of the most important experiences we have gained in recent decades is that we can only be successful in cleaning and managing our water resources if we cooperate with our neighboring states towards joint aims, and if we accept that this needs time. Rivers cannot become clean from one day to another. This experience we also want to share with our Indian partners when it comes to rejuvenating the river Ganges and other Indian rivers. Holistic and integrated approaches that address the entire river basin are crucial to be successful. Germany supports the rejuvenation of Ganga since 2015 based on an agreement between Indian President Modi and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, BMZ, which is my ministry, today provides more than 7 million euros for technical cooperation and 150 million euros for financial cooperation for the cleaning of Ganga. On behalf of the BMZ and the implementing agencies GIZ, KfW, and PTB, we are implementing the projects with our Indian partners, the Ministry of Water Resources, River Development, and Ganga Rejuvenation, and the National Mission for Clean Ganga, as well as some of the states of India, especially Uttarakhand. Under technical cooperation, GIZ gives strategy support on the national as well as on the state level in Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh on river basin management, river basin organizations, water quality monitoring, data and information management, public outreach and awareness raising, as well as industrial and urban wastewater management and capacity development. As financial cooperation, the German Development Bank, KfW, is providing a soft loan of 150 million euro to strengthen sewage water treatment infrastructure in Uttarakhand. And in cities such as Haridwar and Rishikesh, which I visited a while ago, there will be a network of sewers more than 360 kilometers long, and everybody who has been there knows that this is really a challenge because it's so densely populated. There are so many pilgrims there. So we know about the challenges of the sewer network and also the challenges to bring all this water to 14 pumping stations of the cities, around the cities. Germany decided to co-finance the Indo-European Water Partnership Action, which we are now doing since June 2017, and which is presently planned until 2020. For Germany, support to Ganga rejuvenation is a long-term commitment. And if I say long-term, it really means long-term. It's not a 2 years mission, a 4 years mission. It's not a 10 years mission. I'm sure that we will be talking about rejuvenation and cleaning of Ganga and other rivers in 2050 still, as we're doing with the Rhine, as we're doing with the Danube in Europe. We are glad that the EU has similar intentions to go on working on this issue. So the German Development Corporation and the EU delegation will explore possibilities to continue the existing co-financing cooperation beyond 2020 as a first or a second step. This intention is also part of the European expression of the common expression of intent we'll be sharing later today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wolfram. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Akhil Kumar to say a few words. Mr. Kumar.
Thank you very much. Dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Rajiv Mishra ji, DG NMCG, Mr. Raimund Magis, Charge d'Affaires EU Delegation, Mr. Wolfram Klein from German Embassy, and DG TERI, Dr Ajay Mathur, participants here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy and it's an honor and pleasure for me to address this August gathering. We are here for the 4th India-EU Water Forum. We all started in 2016 March when the Prime Minister visited EU and agreed for a high-level India-European water partnership. And that translated into an MOU which was signed in October 2016. The detail has already been shared. Thereafter, we have been progressing, and we have finally now agreed on to work on 9 key areas. Those key areas are water use efficiency, sustainable development of river basins, optimal groundwater use, river cleaning and rejuvenation, e-flows, capacity building, research, innovation, and technology collaboration. As far as EU is concerned, we have to learn a lot. I was reading newspaper this morning, and it was a case of Dutch was given in the paper. So India has around 300 lakh hectares of land under cultivation, where the Dutch has only 115 lakh, and 1,15,000 hectares. And you will be amazed to see the difference in yield. I'm just giving you the few figures, where in the wheat, the Dutch produces 9.1 tons per hectare, India produces 3.2. In tomato, the difference is really staggering. 508 tons per hectare, where India produces just 26. Potato, 46 in Netherlands and 22.3 in India. Onion, 75.4 tons per hectare and 17.2 in India. So, the point is that we have to learn a lot, and they have achieved. On the water sector, they have achieved in high level of water use efficiency. We are still struggling with adopting various technologies, methodologies in our system, but we are on a learning curve, and I am sure this partnership with European Union is going to be a trendsetter for us and will help the country in moving forward and learning from European experience in this field. In our country, I mean, I'll just give a brief statistics, some snapshot of what we have. We are basically, we constitute around 17% of land mass of the world, but just have 4% of fresh water resources of the world. That too also, a lot of the water availability has a lot of spatial and temporal variability. So in case of, in monsoon season, a lot of water is available, but most of them flows out and there is flood all around and there are other issues, but we are not able to capture those water, and then resulting in drought areas, and ultimately around 16% of land suffers from drought. So while water is available in some part of the year, but most of the time we have a basically water stress situation. In that background, where population is rising, so currently we are already in a water stress situation, and the days are not longer that we will be entering into a water scarce situations. Having said that, the country has taken few steps, and quite outstanding steps and positive steps, I will say, in the right direction. To strengthen water availability on ground level, the government has launched a scheme called PM-KSY AIBP, Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program, wherein 99 projects which have been languishing for years have been taken in priority for the completion till 2019. And we have already achieved 60% progress in that, and in PM-KSY AIBP. The other flagship program, I mean, the water quantity, there are two issues, the water quantity and the water quality. The both are equally challenging in our country. And everybody knows about River Ganga, which is an issue of humongous faith in our country. And if you are reading or if you are aware, especially our colleagues coming from Europe, you must have heard about Kumbh, where around 4 crore people take dip during the last single day of Snan. The country has taken a humongous task of cleaning River Ganga, and the program was launched in 2016 under Namami Gange program. While the program was there for quite some time, but there was a lot of innovation. I am happy that DG NMCG is here, who has been pioneering this effort, and he will give you more details. But I will add here that the outcome has already been felt in this country. People have visited Kumbh and they are appreciating and they are saying that Ganga is better, Ganga is clean, which was never there before. It was all possible because of this innovative scheme, and of course, an outstanding leadership provided by the last two DGs, the current Secretary UP Singh and current DG Mr. Rajiv Mishra, who have been working tirelessly to make the Ganga clean. You will hear more about Ganga cleaning program, Mr. Mishra himself. Another big program which was taken was mapping of our aquifers. The knowledge of aquifers was absent, so the government has undertaken a massive program called National Aquifer Mapping Program, wherein we are mapping the entire countries, which is around 23 lakh square kilometers, aquifers being mapped, and we are already able to achieve around 9 lakh square kilometers mapping so far. We are also working towards a river basin authorities. A draft bill is under consultation with the states. In that note, our high-level delegation is also visiting Spain next week, led by our secretary, to understand how river basin authorities are working in Spain. And we are hopeful that by this year, this act will be introduced in Parliament. We are also having a basically act which again DG NMCG will give you details, a Ganga Basin Act, which will focus or which will basically work on Ganga Basin. This is also in the advanced stage and is likely to be brought to the Parliament shortly. In India, the problem because of the lack of land availability, gone on the days where canals on land was done. Land is no more available. Land acquisition has bigger challenges. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Minister, the focus has now shifted into pipe conveyance, which is almost yielding, resulting in on 1/10 price of the traditional canal conveyance or land acquisition involved in canal conveyance. Under per drop, more crop, the focus is being given into water use efficiency, where under a drip irrigation or sprinkler irrigation is being given priorities. With EU side, as I have told you, we have to learn a lot. We have moved forward. We have identified 9 areas of cooperation. We have also to learn from them interstate water cooperation. In India, you must have heard about how Karnataka and Tamil Nadu fought on Kaveri water issues. And we have to learn from European Union, where Rhine and Danube is flowing into various countries, how they are basically sharing this water in a harmonious manner. So this is one area that we look forward to learn from them. We are thankful to GIZ from Germany, who has been pivoting this effort. Ms. Girgit, Ms. Henriette from EU, who is basically leading the India's their cooperation, EU's cooperation in India. And I'm quite hopeful that with GIZ not pitching, the first 2 years was a little slow because there was an absence of a special purpose vehicle. Now we have a GIZ on board from EU side, and we see a lot of drive into our cooperation. We also have MOUs, independent MOU with Netherlands and Hungary within the European Union, and we are working bilaterally also with these countries. I am happy to announce that Honorable Minister, Mr. Arjun Meghwal is here. We welcome him to this 4th India-European Waters Forum. Welcome, sir. So thank you, sir. I know, today is Parliament Day, and sir, and we are really thankful. He is really, very hard on times, and we are really thankful for him for sparing his time. So with that, I'll close that because Honorable Minister has to go. I will thank the European Union. I will thank TERI. I will thank the GIZ. I will personally thank Ms. Girgit and Ms. Henriette, who has taken lead in organizing this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Honourable Minister, would you care to say a few words for us, please?
Because he will have to leave.
Very good morning, all of you. Dignitaries on the dais, the representative of the European Union, हमारे मिश्रा साहब, अखिल जी और माथुर साहब. देखिए, Parliament session is on, and it is the last day of the 16th Lok Sabha. So you can understand how this day is a busy day for me. I have to rush to check out the program with the Speaker of the Lok Sabha today, and I have to rush to check out the program of Rajya Sabha. And Rajya Sabha is not functioning, you all of know. So that is the naturally matter of management. Here in water, the same issue is management. In Parliament, management is the key issue. In water also, the management is the key issue. We have a sufficient water. Our Minister Nitin Gadkari ji told categorically so many times in the front of media also, we have a water as required by a human being, provided by the nature, but we don't have a proper management. That is the critical issue. How we can manage the water in day-to-day life? We have so many schemes for irrigation purpose. We have so many schemes to save the water. We have so many schemes to manage the water. But in day-to-day life, it has not been reached properly how we manage the water. We are misusing the water in our house also, in our farm also, in river also, in pond also. That is the key issue. I think if we can success to manage the water, the problem will be solved. This is the only message from my side. You take, decide, discuss, deliberate, only issue, how we can manage the water. That is the issue. Thank you very much. I have to go. So, sorry for that. I am in a very hurry position because at 10 o'clock, meeting is called. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, thank you very much. Wish you all the success of this conference.
Thank you, Minister. There's one tiny task. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Mr. Akhil Kumar, if you will, to come and launch the website of the India-European Water Partnership. So if you come and join me here, there's a magic button to press.
Mr. Kumar stepped out, Mr. Mishra can.
There we go, a magic button to press that will launch the website now. There we go.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. That was short and very, very sweet. I'm sure you'll agree. Okay. Now we're moving on to the start of our ceremony. We have a wonderfully rich. I'm getting heckled from the front row.
आप use कर लो center.
See, the sequence changed because Honorable Minister came, so he spoke.
Mr.
I was
Mishra
supposed
has
to
to
speak
speak.
before him, so that is the thing.
Mr. Mishra has to speak.
So ये सब
No, Mr. Mishra hasn't spoken. Akhil has spoken. Yeah.
I will go myself otherwise.
Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I think all. Honorable Minister, Sri Meghwal ji, who just came and out of his very critical and busy schedule of the day, he came and gave his message. Mr. Klein, thank you so much for remembering our old association, and I especially welcome you, Head of South Asia Division, German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, Mr. Magis, Head of Delegation of EU in India,
Mr. Mathur, DG TERI, my colleague Akhil, who has just gone to see of Minister and will be joining shortly. Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a very, very important day, and it gives me immense pleasure to be here among all of you. I will just emphasize upon one word which Minister said, the management. So management is a key challenge, and when we look at managing the task of water management or river rejuvenation or what Mr. Magis said about cutting across borders and management of water resources, sharing of water resources, these are all very complicated problems. In public policy parlance, they are typically called big head problems. The problems where easy solutions are not there. One agency won't be able to solve these problems. One government won't be able to solve problems. You require partnership. You require people to come together. You require collaborative partnership. And then that's the only thing which can actually move us forward. So I think it's really a very happy occasion to be here. We are essentially talking about India-EU water partnership. We are also talking about partnership with individual member states of the EU. We are also talking about partnership of different technical, educational, academic, research organizations coming together to meet some of these big, they may be national challenges, but they are also global challenges, because what you learn in one country of handling such a kind of massive problems certainly will be useful in other country. Like we are so frequently talking about learning from the experience of Rhine rejuvenation or Danube rejuvenation, and then how we can look at some of those lessons when we look at our Ganga rejuvenation program. So I think one country, one successful experience, somewhere we are all now global citizens, we can learn from each other, and then we can certainly help other countries to move forward in certain areas. India-EU partnership is now, this is the fourth forum meeting. We have moved forward, lot of things have happened, and then some of the earlier speakers have rightly pointed out some of the issues. We have number of priority areas in this partnership, and then apart from water management, water use efficiency, etc., and then river rejuvenation, Ganga rejuvenation also becomes an important part of this particular partnership. Last year we had a Clean Ganga Europe desk. I think in September, 27 September in Brussels, this meeting was there where Ganga rejuvenation again came in the forefront, and then there is a desk there. Very quickly I will tell you about the Ganga mission and then how this kind of partnership can help. Again taking cue from some of the keywords by my earlier speaker. One thing was water, river rejuvenation, and the kind of integrated approach to conservation. When we launched this Ganga rejuvenation program, which we call Namami Gange in 2015, it was very rightly named as Integrated Ganga Conservation Mission. And when I say Ganga, it's not just Ganga river or the main stem of Ganga, because we are talking about Ganga system. We are talking about all its tributaries, which are 40 and more. I think 40 main tributaries, and if you go into sub-tributaries and small streams, the number will keep on increasing. So when we are talking about that, we are basically essentially talking about Ganga basin. And we all know this is the largest basin in our country, 43-45% of the population of India, and you can very easily understand what it means when we call population of India in terms of numbers. So 43-45% of that population is in Ganga basin. So we are looking at that kind of challenge, that kind of size of the problem which we have to face. So when we launched this thing, I think it was very rightly visualized that we have to be science-based. So we actually started interacting with some of the institutions in our country, the institutions of excellence, the IITs, and a consortium was also asked to prepare a kind of basin management plan or look at the basin and give us some sort of support on that. So that's one part, and then we further continued that with setting up of Sea Ganga, Center for Ganga Basin Management and Studies, which is located at IIT Kanpur, and then I think today we will have a lot of discussion presentations from them also. So Sea Ganga came into being, and then when we look at this, the time is not there, so I will primarily tell you one big envelope in this is the anti-pollution or pollution abatement activities. It may be municipal wastewater management, it may be solid waste management, industrial effluent management. So there is a very big envelope is there for the cleaning part or reducing the pollution load in the river. But at the same time, there are other areas which are there in this mission which differentiates it from the other missions which were taken up earlier, and then some of these things are looking at flow related things. How to bring back the flow, how to improve quantity of water in the river, because that's a big challenge. And then that's where we talk about environmental flow. There could be deliberation, we can exchange ideas about determination of environmental flow. We have already notified environmental flow for the main stem of Ganga, a particular stretch. But yes, we can move ahead with the other tributaries and look at the environmental flow. Akhil mentioned very clearly, and then that's again something where we can learn about water use efficiency, how we can improve water use efficiency everywhere in terms of agriculture maximum. And then because if you reduce consumption of water, conserve water there, that water is likely to be back in the rivers. So water conservation, water use efficiency is also part of our mission, and then that's another area of collaboration we can look at. We are also looking at lots of environmental issues like biodiversity conservation and afforestation. So that's again some area where a lot of work can be done. Industrial sector, again, lot of work is already happening with lots of member countries and also with the EU. We have a very strong collaboration so far. Lots of learning has been there with GIZ. I think Mr. Klein is here and he mentioned some of them. I would like to reiterate. See, India has a very good experience and lot of resources in management of water resources or engineering part. But perhaps our experience has to further improve, and then there could be a lot of learning in river basin management part, which was also highlighted. So we are already working on Ganga river basin management as this collaboration. You talked about Tapi river basin management. So I think some of these things will be very, very useful if we go ahead. We had a very good international conference in November with the help of GIZ, where we had actually called all the major river basin organizations in the world. They all visited here, and we had 2-day very good deliberation. Many of the people who were part of the deliberation are also in this audience. So I think that gave us a very good ground about how we can convert or how we can move in making this National Mission for Clean Ganga, which is an authority, a very empowered true river basin organization. So that's a kind of challenge, and where GIZ has been helping us. GIZ also has been working with us in state of Uttarakhand and now moving to Uttar Pradesh. So I think lots of the German experience, lot of Dutch experience, lots of other countries experience. Denmark also has been now taking a lot of interest now at this thing. Is going to be very helpful in industrial water management. So that's something which will be useful. Public outreach and capacity building also, we are getting a lot of innovative ideas from GIZ, whether it's looking at Ganga Museum or looking at Ganga Box and involving school children and teachers in that public outreach program. So there are lots of things, and then I can keep on recollecting lots of our collaborative thing, but it's enough. I think I will once again repeat. See, it's not the right question is not when the river will get cleaned. We have achieved lots of success, and what we learned from some of the visits to the German rivers. 30 years, Rhine has become very good, 30 years, more than 30 years, but if you go and ask, they say still the process is going on, it has to be a continuous process. Like we clean our home, and we cannot say, I have cleaned my home, I will stop cleaning my home and the house will remain clean. We keep on cleaning it. Same situation is there for the rivers. Same situation is there for the cities and villages. So you have to keep on doing it, you have to set a system where it keeps on sustaining itself. And then I compliment DG of TERI for having a very excellent discussion in this these events on the sustainability, SDG and other things. So, and today this is also a very good occasion where I talked about partnership, and I will be ending with that because there would be an MOU signed between India-EU water partnership, Sea Ganga from Ganga cleaning part, then water supply and sanitation technology platform and VITO. So I think all these organizations coming together, going to work together, will really bring in that kind of collaborative energy and partnership which will help in our challenge of cleaning of river rejuvenation or river basin management and all future collaborative goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Kumar. Mr. Mishra, thank you very much indeed. I'd like to invite the delegates to remain on the stage as we move towards the start of the India-EU Water Partnership Ceremony. If I may, I'll invite Henriette Vegemans to come and say a few words to introduce this wonderful collaboration to you.
Good morning, everybody. It's a really, really big pleasure for me personally to be here. As those of you who have known me for some years know, I've been working on this India-EU water partnership for the best part of 4.5 years now. Before that, I was working on European waters and cleaning of the Danube and other European rivers. So every time I get to be here and speak about this, I'm more happy than I normally am. And today I'm even more happy because we are taking a big step forward in the implementation of the India-EU water partnership. You've heard that we've been working on this for quite some years now. We signed the Memorandum of Understanding in 2016, and we have been working actively on the implementation of these 9 priority areas. We have many partners who've worked with us on this, and today we are taking a step forward in formalizing the collaboration that we have with many of these organizations. We will formalize cooperation with some of our member states, with technical organizations from both Europe and India. And it's really important, it's not just an exchange of a piece of paper, because what it actually means is that these organizations and countries are committed to work together towards the joint implementation of these priorities. So each and every organization who is signing these papers have looked at what are the key priorities, what are their own key strengths and competencies, and how do they feel that they would like to collaborate and contribute to these ambitions of cleaning India's waters and really making this an India-EU water partnership. So that is really important. It shows the diversity of things we can do together and we will do together, and this is just the beginning. It's just a few organizations, a few countries that are signing today, but we know that many more are interested and are coming in the next batch. So that's already a pre-announcement of the next India-EU Water Forum. So with this, I will just say again that I'm really happy to be here and very proud that so many have come from Europe and from India to continue to work with us to make this a success. And a particular thanks, of course, to my colleagues from the ministry, from NMCG, from TERI, who is always our great partners, and of course to GIZ and Germany, our implementing partners. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. Now we're going to move to the process of celebrating each of the agreements. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce each of the agreements in turn. I'm going to invite those concerned to come up onto the stage, exchange the folders, and then remain on stage so that we gather everyone together. And we will start off. The first is a joint expression of intent by the India-EU Water Partnership for joint activities specifically focused on the Hindon Basin. And I'd like to invite Mr. Raimund Magis, the European Delegation, and the Honourable Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Mr. Martin van den Berg, to come on stage and exchange folders, gentlemen. Thank you. And if you'll kindly remain on stage for us for now, thank you very much. The second one between the EU delegation and Hungary, covering a range of cooperation activities within several priority areas of the India-European Water Partnership. I'd like to invite Ms. Hilda Farkas of the Embassy of Hungary to exchange folders with Ms. Fagermans. Thank you very much. And our next one is an expression of intent between the EU delegation and Germany, which reconfirms strong cooperation between the Indo-European Water Partnership, between the European delegation and the Embassy of Germany. And I'd like to invite Ms. Christina Hieronymus of the Embassy of Germany to come on stage, please. and exchange the folders with Ms. Fagerman. Thank you very much. And next, we have a Memorandum of Understanding on Business Cooperation between the European Delegation on the one hand, and on the other, a plethora of organizations, IIT Kanpur, the Center for Ganga, Vito, Vlaqua, and the Water Supply and Sanitation Technology Program, all of which are represented today by Professor Tare. So Professor Tare, if you'd care to come on stage. And exchange folders with Ms. Fagermans. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely, we have 2 to go. We have a joint expression of intent between the Indo-European Water Partnership on joint activities, again specifically focused on the Hindon Basin, and the 2030 Water Resources Group that is hosted by the World Bank. And I'd like to invite Mr. Ajit Radhakrishnan to come on stage, please, and exchange folders with Ms. Fagermans. Thank you. And last and absolutely not least, we have a Memorandum of Understanding on Future Cooperation between GIZ India and the IHE Delft Institute for Water Education. And I'd like to invite Ms. Julie Reviere and Ms. Martina Burkhardt and Ms. Suzanne Schmeier to exchange folders, please. And then if you'd all like to gather for a group photo, one of you come over here, I think. Thank you very much indeed, all. Thank you very much indeed.